I have a fly in here, and it's going like... Yeah, it's driving me insane. That's the downsides right there of living in the countryside. Now, before starting to record this video, I took around a 1 hour long power nap. If you can call it power nap if it's that long. This is me now waking up from that said power nap. Sugar-free Red Bull, oh yeah. Can be that the background was slightly off-center. And almost forgot. Hey there, and welcome back. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andreas, and this channel is pretty much otherwise my backyard. I feature here everything from coffee and ADC to now photography and videography and pretty much whatever I want to do. So make sure to subscribe just so you don't miss out on future content, because not even I know what it's going to be about, okay? So some days ago I met a few new friends who are also in the path of starting their own YouTube channel. Naturally, as I'm quite enthusiastic about the subject, we had quite a long chat about it. And of course, I mentioned that I have this dedicated studio space here. For those of you who didn't know, this was previously a garage, which I now converted into my own studio space. And then they asked me that, okay, what's my YouTube setup and how do I have the lights set up? And yeah, I cannot say that I lied, but however, I'm not happy with the response I gave them. In theory, I have the knowledge of how to set up everything, but when they looked up my YouTube channel at that point, the most recent video setups, yeah. So a pro tip, meet up with your photographer. I hadn't really spent that much time on the lighting setup. So I'm gonna quickly talk you through the setup I have here. The main camera here in front of me now is the Sony ZV-E10 with these specific settings here and the lens used. In some videos, such as my previous EDC video about the Gerber Paraframe mini knife, I used my Sony ZV-1 as a secondary camera set up on its own tripod at around a 45-degree angle towards there, fully zoomed in. Thus, I'm able to record a close-up footage of whatever I'm fidgeting with at the same time as I'm recording this A-view with the camera here in front of me. For the close-up camera, I have it connected via HDMI cable to this monitor over here on a stand. This way I can in full detail see that I have framed my hands correctly in the close-up footage. Because as that camera is all the way zoomed in, the field of view of it is really narrow. Thus, even a slight movement of my hand might really throw off the framing of that shot and, worst case scenario, make it unusable. The key light, meaning the light that lights up the subject in the frame, in this case me, is up here around 1 arm's length away from me. It's a large softbox with a grid on it. The purpose of the large softbox is to diffuse the light instead of creating harsh shadows, for example here where you can see shadows from my cap and around my nose. All of them should be pretty soft. The grid in front of the softbox aims to just direct the light towards me and not to light up the background, because in this case I want the background to be a really dark, moody and blue. And on the topic of the blue background, it's lighted up with the Newell RGB light featured in one of my previous videos over here, which is, by the way, probably one of the most versatile lamps I have here in the studio. The second light that is lighting up me is here on my left hand side, and you can see it with this kind of warm yellow color. It's called the fill light, and it's just a really soft light to brighten up the shadow side of my face compared to the key light, to give it some nice color contrast. The warm yellow tone suits perfectly for skin tones, and it gives a nice contrast with the blue background over there. And then there's a second yellow light back there in the corner to light up the shelf to give it some more detail. The red light you can see in the other corner is mainly to light up my shelf, so it isn't specifically planned for this setup, but yeah, it's visible over there. Additionally, there's some ambient light coming from the outside, since I haven't covered up the windows in any way. Moving over to audio, this studio is not acoustically treated, which is why I placed this thick winter blanket on this clothing rack here to kind of absorb the worst echoes in here. In addition, a good microphone helps in picking up just your voice here and not the surrounding echoes. Audio is recorded with the Blue Yeti microphone over here, and it's part of the Yeticaster setup, which includes the microphone but also the boom arm, connected by USB cable to the computer back there, recording audio thus separately. Then, while editing, I just sync the audio with the video from the camera and voila! Perfect audio for really good video. Anyway, I think that concludes the tour of this setup I'm using here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them down there below. Also, if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button down there. Anyway, thanks for riding fences with me today, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!